We're on our way back. And, well, there's been a lot that's happened, but we're back. Are you guys okay? I think something's following us.
Okay, you're gonna have to elaborate. Something's following you? What the fuck is following you?
Don't think about it too hard. I'm trying not to think about it too hard before we're in a truck. We're coming back. We have some weapons. Where are you guys? Are you guys still in the apartment complex?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be there shortly, I guess. I don't know how far away we are, so.
Yeah, I'm still really stuck on this following you thing. Okay, you don't know where you are. How are you getting back? Are you all still together? Like, a bunch of you left.
Some of us are back.
Okay. Just get back here. Be really careful. Be really quiet. Please don't bring whatever is following you into the building. We've already had enough going on. So let's just not.
No promises, but okay.
If there's something following you, I suggest driving around the block a couple of times before you try to bring it. We're not done setting this place up for that. So, just get back here. Just get back here. How about just get back here?
Yeah, sure. Great. Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right. I'm hanging up now.
Okay.
Alec, you are watching out the window, and you, over the course of time, notice that it takes about 30 minutes for the frenzy to fully settle after that last bell toll. They seem to begin to wander in like a confused manner, but in varying times. Anywhere from a minute to 20 minutes later, depending on where they are, maybe how active they were. But it's about 30 minutes before the streets fall completely quiet again, until you hear the sound of a truck approaching from the distance.
We don't get more sound.
Rory and Steve, how are you approaching?
Can we see? I almost want to just turn the engine off and let it just keep gliding closer to the apartment. Like, stop the sound and just keep letting that truck go.
Yeah, you can do that. You're driving, right? Yeah, of course you're driving. My brain remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are driving, so you can easily do that, and it's just kind of a steering around any of the vehicles. You do remember, I mean, the streets have been pretty packed the whole way here. You've been having to kind of drive slower and go around various vehicles, take the long way around some places.
I heard that. Jeez.
Yeah.
Your narration is so ominous, Carrie.
Yeah, so, how close are you wanting to get to the building?
I think getting within a good quick walk's distance, like maybe like stopping sort of 400-500 feet away from it, and then like getting out, not even closing the door. I'm not going to close the door, and just booking it with everything we have.
Cool. All right.
But I'm going to stay beside Steve as well, and just kind of like make sure Steve's doing okay. So.
Okay. Fair enough. Meanwhile, Lou, you have hung up your phone. Darren and Mason heard your half of that conversation. What would you like to do?
Something following? And I'm just holding my phone in like confusion. I'm gonna look at the two of them.
And this is happening all in the basement, right? You're saying? I think Darren just like stops, just does one of those like record scratch moments of like holding a little box, loading whatever into the elevator, and just like stares, and just almost doesn't say anything. It's just like trying to process what Lou just said.
I mean, there's stuff out there and it does follow you, but this sounded like something is following us, like we don't know what it is. And I really don't like that. And I don't want to do a thing that makes your face do that panic thing, but maybe we should just like help board up windows, because yeah.
Darren at least takes kind of like a big, like, he kind of has that thing of pausing and taking a deep breath, you know, and like gulping a little bit, and then just kind of like trudges to the elevator, holding whatever box of whatever he has. Hopefully a box of planks of wood and nails and such things, and binoculars, and an RPG. I think is probably in the box too. Is what I'm imagining. But you know, Carrie, you can go over whatever fiction you think is appropriate.
And an RPG?
There's
yeah,
definitely an RPG in there.
Just with a couple grenades thrown in there.
Not likely, but you so the plan is to head back up and kind of start helping get these materials out of the elevator. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Easy enough. You head up. The elevator dings and opens just in time for you to see Derek looking out of these, you know, front doors that you have blocked off, these windows. How are we going about? Let me rewind a little bit. Rory and Steve, how are you planning on entering this apartment complex?
I was just thinking that same thing. We came down the outer fire escape.
You sure did.
Can we walk up to the front doors and knock?
You would remember that you have fully blocked off the front doors.
God damn it. Okay, that's right.
That would be in your mind coming back. So I will kind of like reverse this a little bit. Is there a different way you wanted to approach, knowing the front doors are blocked off and that you came down that fire escape?
Is it one of those fire escapes that you could jump and reach up and pull it down? Or is it like...
I thought it was off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the you know, staircases that kind of go up, but with the ladder at the very bottom.
Right. So we can't, like, usually that one can, some of them have like a one you could reach up and grab and pull down so that you can climb up it again.
Yeah, it's probably down. I'm pretty sure it's
okay.
It's down already.
Then yeah, we'll go up that way.
Okay, so you would kind of like pull into sort of the alley near that part of the fire escape, hop out, head over, and I'm gonna have Steve roll a damage die for me for these stairs.
That's the red one?
Yep.
Why do you guys have these I literally am so nervous right now. Like, is this not the right way to go through this?
I rolled a 2.
Okay, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm nervous.
All right, so yeah, you are going up quiet enough and slow enough where Steve isn't ripping open any wounds or anything like that. And you get to the bodies.
The what now?
There's the in unison head like, excuse me. You start getting to, there are multiple frenzied bodies. Dead.
Okay.
Laying out on these stairs. You find yourselves having to kind of like climb over them in places until you get to the window of this fire escape, and you see quite a few bodies piled up here. You see the glass is shattered in, and you see there are tables and wood blocking the window off. You're not getting in this window.
Can we keep going up?
Yes, I'm going to have both of you also make a what is this game? Spot listen.
Oh, listen. That is 2 degrees of failure.
I made mine 35 under 37.
Okay, so Rory just kind of does that, like, you know, when that like horror tone happens when you're looking at something like in movies, or it's just like boom, you're just staring at this like
television.
What the fuck. Steve has to kind of like lean back and on one of the railings for a moment, and you hear just the faintest little echoed screech. It's not a long screech, and it seems to just only like almost like a little shout, but you kind of turn and look, and because of what happened earlier, you're kind of looking up on the walls of the buildings around, and you're not seeing anything, but you definitely heard something.
I hate that shrieker.
I know.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to relay that. I'm going to turn to Rory and ask them if they heard that, because it sounded an awful lot like the shrieker that we encountered earlier.
No, I did.
I already looked. I couldn't find it.
Great. Okay.
I just
can we
heard
get
it.
in? Let's find a way
let's
inside the apartment immediately.
Yes.
At that point, we're going to switch over to Derek, Lou, Darren, and Mason, where Derek runs over to the door and sees the truck drive by to head towards the alleyway, and he just turns around and goes, yeah, how are we going to get them in here?
They could still go up the fire escape, right? I mean, there's like more floors to could get in the window up, right?
Yeah, sure. And at this point you see just a few like stragglers basically that were following the truck beginning to just kind of
Gonna be loud.
Limp in this direction.
I don't like this. They said something was following them, and well, they'll go up the fire escape. We'll see what happens. They'll probably be smart enough to go. I mean, they're smart enough to go up another floor and then just come in that way, right? Right? Yeah.
Would I be near
Definitely.
if they came up the elevator, or are they still downstairs?
Us?
I was asking Carrie. I wasn't sure if were you guys still downstairs, or did you guys come back up?
We were coming up the elevator, and
yeah, they are on the first floor
Okay.
like the lobby floor.
Gotcha.
So the first time they sent the first collection of stuff up, did they put the next story up? So that's kind of where.
No, just the first that first
Okay.
floor lobby area is kind of where everyone's collecting stuff.
Because it's like all windows and we want to fix that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, names. Yep. Alexander? Pretty sure that's his name. Alexander. Looks over to it probably actually doesn't look over, is sitting leaning against the table, looking at his partner, and you see his head kind of turn to look toward the window for a moment, almost as if he heard something.
What is it?
Nothing, probably. And he just kind of looks again, and
I'll go over and peek out.
you head over and you kind of move the curtains to look out. Go ahead and make a spot listening roll.
Okay. 29 under 34.
Okay. You look out and you see quite a few of these frenzied, although it's hard to call them that right now because they're just kind of wandering, but you see them kind of wandering towards the truck. For a moment, you chalk that up to what Alexander could have been hearing, and then you catch something out of the corner of your eye. It's not on the street. It's on one of the buildings. And you kind of glance up and you see what looks humanoid crawl from out of one window and around the corner of one of the buildings. It's
Our building or a different? Okay.
No, it's a different building. It's across the way. And it's not even something you're entirely sure that you really saw, because it just doesn't make sense. It was the corner of your eye, and by the time you looked, it had already rounded the building.
Okay.
So you're not sure.
But I'm just a little paranoid. So Elizabeth was her name, right? I
Yes,
think. Okay. She's still strapped down.
she is.
Great. I'm gonna zero context. I'm going to turn around to Alexander and say, listen, I'm going to leave the two of you for a moment. Are there any open windows in this apartment?
No, I don't think so.
Good. Stay here. Keep an eye on her. I'll be back, and I'm gonna go find other folk.
Okay.
And let them know.
Yeah, you just see him kind of like grab her hand again and just kind of lean down and rest his head. You head out. Rory and Steve, what's the plan?
Up.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, Steve, make another damage die roll.
And I was going to say also, Darren would probably be suggesting that some of us should go up and try to meet them there.
Sure.
And be ready in case anything comes up.
Are you
I don't know,
volunteering?
with them.
Are you volunteering?
No.
Okay, I didn't think
No.
so. Lou,
He's suggesting other people go do it.
Falling
Mason will
Ellen.
go.
Who had the nail gun? Was that
Mason.
Mason?
Yeah.
I just look at Mason and I look at everyone else and I go, so more stuff's gonna happen. We should blitz up.
Yeah. So yeah,
no
Mason and Lou can easily head towards the doorway that leads to like the stairwell up to the next level.
As we're walking up, I'm going to look at Mason and just go, I'm not normally the person that does this. Why are we doing it? We should, let's go.
Yeah. Same. Like just completely agrees with you 100%. Yeah. Steve, what was your damage die roll?
Two on the
Awesome.
damage.
Yeah, so you get up that next flight of stairs, easy enough, and you make it to the window.
I'm gonna try the window first just to see if it's open.
Make a luck roll, buddy.
Why would the window be locked?
Well, I mean, maybe
Why
they haven't
wouldn't it? It's
gotten
a
to this
zombie
one
apocalypse.
yet. What is luck again?
Also,
Really low.
lock your windows no matter
5%.
what.
To the fire escape, though?
Well, the fire escape is like a hall window.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose that's true.
And this would be, the 3rd floor, so you don't want anybody to just be able to open that.
Climb
Doesn't.
in. Yeah.
I don't think it really matters because I get like a 92.
No, that doesn't. Yeah.
We'll be there in a second. Just hang on, Steve.
So it is locked.
I can't even open it from the side, and my lockpicking skills are decent.
Yeah. How do
I
you
was
handle
just-
that?
I was just wondering if there was a way we could, because I don't want to make noise, but I don't want to. I definitely want to get in here.
I'm going to start incessantly, quietly tapping on the window and hope someone's going to hear it.
Great. All right, Lou and Mason, you open up the door. You get to you kind of go up that stairway, get to the door that's leading into this next level.
I assume with the way people are gathered, there's no one really on this floor and a couple of open doors and a bunch of closed ones like there was on the other floors.
From what you knew previously before this, like Alec had gone up, painted? No, put a chalk SOS up on the roof, came down, and it was like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor were kind of where everyone was gathering up. After the events of last session, you're not sure, who ended up where, but yeah, you and Mason open up this door and you are walking into pretty much, it's like an identical looking hallway. Just one very long hallway with doors on either side, and you see at the same time Rory and Steve and Lou and Mason see a figure step out of one of these open doors. They step out and they look toward the just light tapping. And Rory and Steve, you see just blood spilling from the mouth.
Damn it.
Lou?
I wanna just tuck behind Mason and point his nail gun.
Great. Go ahead and Lou and Mason make a composure roll for me.
Also, as soon as I see this thing, I stop tapping. I back away kind of quietly and
Also,
just
Can I ask a quick clarifying question
Sure.
that I think is very important for our zombie intel gathering notes?
Mhm.
When you say a closed door opens, do you mean a handle turns, or it is nudged open because it was slightly ajar?
Yeah, it was ajar a little bit, and it's
Okay.
just pushed open.
'Cause
Yeah, the door
that
did not. Yeah.
Changes whether a handle is, if it's like a Jurassic Park
good things to know.
Velociraptor thing, or if it's this is all valuable intel that
Very
hopefully
important.
the 4 of them will live long enough to tell us.
Hopefully. Yeah. So you stop tapping. What was your composure roll?
I rolled exactly my composure.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll call
That's
that good. Yeah. So the attention is still turned towards the window as you see this figure take 1 or 2 steps in the direction of the window. Rory and Steve, you're able to see across the hallway 2 figures, but you're not entirely sure who they are, but you do see one of them raise their arm, and Mason is going to try and fire the nail gun at this thing, and that is good. Yeah, he raises this up and kind of pulls this trigger down, and you hear that just familiar sound of the nail gun as a nail just rips through this figure's head. You watch Rory and Steve, it was probably getting pretty close to the window when this happened. The nail slams into the head and you see the figure fall forward. And I'm gonna see if it
Please don't break the window.
You see its head slams into the window, and the window kind of spider webs a little bit, and then it falls down. You see a crack with like the blood, in the center of this spider web crack for a moment, and then it falls down. What would the three of you like to do?
Oh, if I am relatively within reason certain that it's probably not alive anymore or not unalive anymore or whatever it is, I'm going to go over and open the window and get them inside and then turn back to Mason as I'm running up to Ning going, we should check all these doors and find another table.
Hold on, I have to just...
Carrie, just let us inside.
Whatever you're thinking about, just let them inside.
Just let
I'd
me
like to once
inside.
again reiterate, Carrie, these choices are yours.
Would I have heard the nail gun get fired from the floor below?
No.
So seeing that it's spider. Oh wait, does she open the window for us? Because
Yeah. You are walking forward. As you're walking forward to go open this up, that same door that was open, something lunges for you. Something jumps out, and you hear the nail gun fire, and it slams into this thing's temple and through the other side and falls. And you probably kind of jump from that and kind of scoot back a little bit, slam up against that wall, and you see two more coming out of this room, and Mason just starts sprinting forward. What would you like to do?
First, open the window.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a speed die for me. 3. Interesting. Okay. So as you turn to try to grab onto this window to open it up, 2 of these other figures have already made it out of the room, and a third one is beginning to come out. And Mason is sprinting up. He just slams his shoulder into one of them to push them out of the way, grabs the door, and slams it shut. So there are still 2 of these frenzied in the hallway. But he has closed the door, and that is Mason's turn. So we are up to Lou and the frenzied. Lou, you turn and you grab this window and just push it upward. As you do so, go ahead and make a dodge roll for me.
Okay, that's just a straight success.
Cool.
I panicked for a second, and then I really remembered that my dodge is pretty good.
All right, so they both are coming for you because you're the one, you're the noise that is coming. Besides this door now being slammed shut, they were pushed in your direction, and as they turn, one of them grabs onto you, has a hold of your clothing, but isn't doing any sort of attack or anything. The other one, from Mason's shove, has actually lost his footing and slammed down onto the floor, so he is currently prone. The window is open. Rory, Steve, what's your go?
Wait, so window's open. Lou is near it. There is a frenzied near them?
Yes.
Okay. Who has the bag? Do you have the bag or do I have the bag?
You should
right?
both have a bag.
Oh, we both have a bag. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try walking through well, not walking, but you know what I mean, very quickly trying to get through the window. And I'm going to try and shoot the frenzied in the head.
All right, go for it.
How do you do this again? Oh my god.
Firearms.
Yes. Pistol. Not that it matters, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. 37 out of 45.
Nice.
Yes.
So that's just one success.
Damage.
So roll that 1 damage die for me, I think, unless I gave you any other stats.
That exploded.
Nice.
7.
That was so disappointing.
That was very disappointing.
All right, so you pull the trigger.
It is pressed up against this thing to muffle the sound, at least even just a little.
Sure.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Pull the trigger. You see the whole head just kind of pop outward, just spatter out as this figure falls over. As you are coming through this window, you see the other one on on the floor, kind of looking up and reaching in your direction, and just at the sound. Steve?
I'm gonna throw my bag in, but with the baseball bat, I'm just gonna swing down at the
Nice.
one who is reaching up. Yeah, and
Okay.
prone.
So first I'll have you make that attack. Actually, no. First, I'm gonna have you roll 2 damage die.
2 and a 3, so 5.
What's your damage threshold?
6.
Okay. So you will roll this attack without any difficulty.
And the attack is a brawl.
Melee
Oh wait, melee with a...
bludgeoning.
Yeah, 47 I guess, so 75 over 47.
Yeah, you go to swing down. You hit it, but it seems to as it hits, he just kind of reaches over and is holding on to this bat at this point, kind of you hit in the abdomen, and it didn't really seem to affect it at all. Next round, everyone roll speed die. I will say we will visit the people downstairs because there was a gunshot, so this is all happening pretty quickly. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's not great.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to save people.
Oh, I'm
okay?
not saying you're doing
Right.
anything wrong. I'm just saying that this whole situation's
Zombie apocalypse.
all bad.
Not great.
3rd floor zombies
No.
that weren't there before.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
Would rate the
That-
zombie apocalypse
That
0
I'm
out
very
of 10.
concerned about.
Do not
Oh,
recommend.
absolutely. They're getting such a bad Yelp review from me. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Oh yeah.
This
When
apartment
this is all
complex
over,
sucks.
you will be hearing from me.
Yes.
We're gonna
All
lock
right, what were
all
your
windows at this
speed
point.
die?
4.
I got a 1.
Oh,
I got a 2. Sorry, I forgot it was
great.
there.
Great,
Do you
great,
want us
great.
from downstairs to roll speed dice? or just...
Not yet, not
Okay.
yet. So Steve, you're up first.
Okay. I'm gonna take another swing at this zombie that's trying to get at my friend
Okay,
here.
roll 2 damage die first.
Which die? 5.
Hey, you're good. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
God. Gosh darn it! These dice are cursed. 70.
Yeah, you swing again. You're not able to get. You don't know if it's you're not able to exert enough energy to make this really hit where you're wanting it to hit. It's just not happening for you right now. At this point, Mason comes over, puts the nail gun directly to its head, and just fires. You can hear the sound of the frenzied outside clinging on the fire escape metal, beginning to climb up. Mason's like, we gotta get the fuck downstairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately look at Mason and go, table. And I
Downstairs,
pointed all
door.
one of the
Door is
rooms.
better than table. We need to just get down to the next level. And you can now hear all of the frenzied that are shut in that room now are slamming against the doors trying to get out, and you hear the faintest crack of the wood as they are trying to pass through.
Benny, do we think are in there?
Make a
Listen.
yeah, I let you do spot listening or there's no intelligence, is there?
It doesn't really matter because I rolled an 82.
A lot. There's so many. There's too many. That's all you care about. There are too many in there. Yeah, so downstairs.
A question about the construction of this building. Is it's one where the stairs are interior and the elevator mostly goes up and down. So if we were to close the stair door, it would
Correct.
pretty much just be contained.
Yes.
There, great.
If you can get to that stair door and close it, you should be good. Meanwhile, yes, you are walking to look for more people. You are reaching basically the door that leads to the stairs, up to the next level. And that's where there is that little balcony area where you can kind of look down at the lobby floor. You have reached that area where you see Darren and Derek kind of unloading materials from the elevator. Alec, are you helping with that, or what is?
Yeah, if I noticed that the frenzy calmed down after that time, I would have been trying my best to try to help with boarding up.
Cool.
So
yeah,
I
so
would
you
be
see
unloading as much as I can with one
Right.
arm. So
carefully. Yeah. I love all of the reactions of like, what the fuck?
Shit happened, y'all. Shit happened.
Shit happened. Yeah, so you see the three of them down there like unloading stuff. Derek is bringing wood, over and just grabbing, like, there were 2 nail guns. Mason came out with 2, I believe. So Derek does have one of them and is able to just, as fast as he can. Starting to get this entrance at least boarded up here. And Yasmin, as you're passing that door to the stairway, you hear a muffled gunshot from upstairs.
So the little balcony is open to them, right? You said?
Yes.
So like I'm gonna whistle, like not just like whistle, but like fingers in the mouth. And when they turn to look, like stage whisper, "There's gunshots upstairs."
Okay.
And then I'll go and grab, I don't know, I had a tire iron, but if there's anything more effective than that, and go up to the door.
Okay. Yeah, Alec, Darren, and Derek look up to kind of, hear this stage whisper, and Derek kind of, it like motivates him to go a little bit faster. Like he is just starting to just board up what he can hear. That gunshot, and you hear the frenzied outside beginning to like start slamming into the walls of this building once again. And I'll say Alec and Darren make a spot listen roll.
Oh boy.
2 degrees of failure.
1 degree of failure.
Wonderful. So, Yasmin, as you are heading over to grab one of these weapons, you grab onto whatever it may be. Do you just get your tire iron?
Yeah, as long as there's nothing else that's more impactful, if you will.
You're at least familiar with your tire iron at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, so you hold on to that. You are kind of looking at the table to see what else there may be, and you hear the shattering of glass. And as you turn to even like instinctually turn to see where the noise came from, you are looking directly into one of these apartments. You can look straight through the door and to the window, where you see the glass is shattered and something has slammed into the building. You see it kind of land on all fours on the ground, look up at you, stand up, and full sprint in your direction.
Can I run to the door and slam it shut, and then just go all around this floor and close doors?
Roll a speed die for me. So that's just a d6.
That's just d6. Okay. Okay, dice. That's a 5.
Oh, roll again. I also got a 5.
Oh my god. It's a 4?
Okay. You are rushing over to the door, and before you can reach out and grab it, this figure slams into you, pushes you up against the wall on the other side. Alec and Darren, what would you like to do? I will say, Derek hears this, and he's like, it's not going to matter if we do not board this up. And he is still working on getting this boarded up. He is ignoring any sounds happening around him right now.
I'm gonna look at Darren. Might be best if you help Derek, and I'm gonna grab the hockey stick and chase down to where I can hear that.
You're
Darren
going
looks
up.
terrified.
Yeah. And Derek does also say, like, with Alec kind of moving towards the stairs, Derek looks to Darren almost like reassuringly and just says, I need you here. I need your help. And will continue to try to board up these windows as more glass, like The glass is pretty much shattered in from the previous events, but you see arms kind of flopping in, and Derek tries to just kind of shove them out of the way and place a board there, and it's getting really bad really quick. Lou, Mason, Steve, and Rory. Yeah, that's all of you. You make it to this, the door to the stairs. As you hear the groans and snarls of some of these frenzied, just flailing through the window from the fire escape, crawling in, they slam down and then they just like twist and crack and stand back up to begin to sprint in your direction. You hear the wood splinter on the door that is containing them, and they kind of spill out almost like liquid. They're just falling in on each other, tripping each other. They all stand up and they are sprinting at an impossible speed towards you. I'm going to have everyone roll a speed die.
Speed die don't explode, right?
Nope. Interesting. Okay. So, Lou, what would you like to do?
Probably, assuming a bag has been thrown in the window, probably pick
Well,
up said... Oh.
You have made it to the...
Oh, okay.
To the door leading out, like, the door that you're wanting to shut to block them off. You
Okay,
have made
cool.
it to that door before they have busted in.
Then I am making sure that everyone is in that should be in, and no one is in that should be out. And closing the door.
So the door is not open yet.
Okay, open the... I mean, that's the way we came in, right? So I know
Yes.
it's not, like, locked.
Correct. Yeah, you did
Okay.
not block it or anything. You can easily open that up, move through, and like prepare to close it if you
Yeah.
like. Cool.
Yeah. I am standing there going, go, 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 go.
Come on, come on, come on. All right. Next up, Steve. What would you like to do?
They haven't gotten to here yet, right?
They
So
are. They are approaching now.
Okay.
You both rolled a 5.
If we were able to get inside, could I use the bat to like sort of lock that door from the inside so that they can't push it open?
Yeah. You probably could.
The issue is getting Rory in.
You can kind of step through and prepare to do that if you would like.
Yeah, I think I
so,
want to do
like-
that. I'm gonna step in and get my bat at the ready in case I need to swing or lock it.
Great. So yeah, Lou has kind of stepped in on one side. Steve has kind of stepped in on the other side. Rory, I'm gonna have you make 3 dodge rolls.
God fucking damn it, Carrie. 23. My dodge is 40, so it's 1 degree of success, I think. Probably doesn't matter. That's an 85. That is 4 degrees of failure. And that is a straight 50. So that is also a failure. So 1
Okay,
success
well.
and 2 failures.
I rolled a 99, and then I rolled an 85, and then I rolled an 88.
Yes!
That's what
So-
you get for rolling your dice early, Carrie. I
So
warned you.
knowing that you also had some degree of failure in these dodge rolls, how do you think Rory pushes through these attacks and gets through this door?
Oh gosh. I feel like I don't even know.
I think since I failed on actually attacking, I think maybe they swarm you and are like grabbing onto you and trying to like pull you back in a sense. Like they're trying to pull you toward them and you like grab onto the door frame.
So I have so I'm gonna say I have a duffel bag on me. So I feel like out of like a state of panic, they like grab at the duffel bag, which is strapped like around me and it's around my back. And out of the panic, I just like shove myself out of it and just leave the duffel bag. I mean, I failed, so like I feel like that's only fair. Like,
All right.
God, that would be my first state of mind. Is
And
to
I
get
would
out.
say you stumble forward, land down on your hands and knees. Lou shoves this door shut, and Steve slams this bat like into the handle part of it, and you hear them slamming against it, and then you look over and you see something slam someone up against the wall just directly to the left of you, and you see all of you, even Alec. As Alec is running up these stairs, you are able to see this mostly human-looking figure. It looks a little bit familiar to Rory and Steve at this point. You see most of the hair has fallen out, and you can see some of the teeth are chipped, and the fingers are bloodied, and you can almost see like the actual skin of the fingers has just been worn off, and it's like just bone at this point. The clothes they appear just scraped up, and pieces of the skin look almost not scaly in the sense of like scales, but scaly in the sense of like, you know, really dry, or like, yeah. And you can see as they are holding on to this person Steve and Rory have not seen before, have slammed her up against this wall, and you see the mouth kind of open, and it just screams into her face, that familiar shriek. What would everyone like to do? It is in the hallway of your safe zone.
Yeah, not safe anymore.
Yeah, thanks for the safe zone.
Unsafe zone now.
Also,
Zone
thanks,
my
Steve and
ass.
Rory.
I'm
Sheesh.
calling
Oh,
OSHA.
well, you know
guys.
what? I apologize.
We have one spot that's even.
Hey, you
sort
know
of
what?
safe.
We brought you weapons, and that's all you asked. So
Yeah,
everything
Yeah,
else is
yeah,
just.
and then
in
you
the
came back
hallway.
with an extra zombie.
A
I
friend.
did not understand the
brought
assignment.
friends.
This is not extra credit.
You know, I
You did not
apologize,
get bonus
but
points for this.
it is.
You had one
not
job.
like
You
it's
had
not
one
like
job,
we're like
and you
it's
did
not
two
like-
things, and one of them is a zombie thing, and that's
Listen,
bad.
not-
this thing.
It's not like we met him
The
and
other
said,
way,
"Hey,
Zombie.
come back and have a beer."
Yeah.
Like,
This crew is falling apart. I need you all to make
That's
a
what you
speed dive
do when
roll.
you
Okay,
throw
okay,
zombies in our safe zone.
Ooh,
Go
that's a
ahead
one
and
for
type
me.
it in the chat for me.
Oh,
so I
sorry,
can keep track
sorry.
Here. 3 of you had ones. You can all go simultaneously, or you can decide who is going first.
I mean, I'm grabbed, so maybe me. Just if that makes sense.
Yeah,
just
go
don't
for
know.
it. What would
Just
you
wanna
like
get
to
it-
do?
I would like to get it off of me. That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say you can either roll a brawl roll or a strength roll.
Oh boy, howdy. Okay, let me just double check. I'll try brawl. This isn't gonna be good, guys. 24
24.
out of 23, so it's 1 up.
Okay.
One higher than my score.
All right, so it's holding on to you, and as you try to just push away from it, you're able to keep it at bay. Like, it's not able to get any closer. Your hands are like on like its shoulders, basically holding it back, and you see it just screaming at you. You're just looking you in the eyes. You can see its own eyes. Like, one pupil is really, really small, while the other one seems really, really big, and it's just staring at you and screaming.
Cool. Great.
How are your ears? Jesus.
Not great.
seeing this, Steve, knowing he doesn't have a weapon on him, is going to come from behind, run up behind it, and put it in like a wrestling move to pull it away, like I've got him in an arm lock from behind, and try to pull it off of, or at least hold it in place and off of this person.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll 2 damage die first.
8.
8. That is going to rip open your wound.
Oh.
I am going to go ahead and have you roll your brawl roll.
Okay.
with one difficulty die.
God damn it, Steve! I spent so much time over that.
I know.
I almost threw up doing that.
In real life, no.
I got a
Yeah.
95 plus 5, so that's 100.
Okay. Go ahead and mark that other wound box because you did rip that wound open.
So that is 3 at this point, right?
Okay.
Or did-
Yeah, that should be 3. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is you run up, you reach up to grab onto this thing, and what it does is shove an elbow back right into your wound. You feel these stitches tear and just rip, and you are shoved backwards. Blood is now spilling from your abdomen again. You reach down and you just put your hands on it to try to stop it. You're going to take a couple steps back and slam into the wall on the other side. White hot pain just shooting through you at this point. And that is Steve's turn. Rory.
Upon seeing that happen, wait, is this all happening simultaneously because you only have one?
The 3 of you, yeah, it is happening simultaneously.
So like Steve is by
like
the time
lunging,
Okay.
lunging towards this.
Damn it. How close? Okay. Can you paint the picture for me again? We're in this hallway. We're in the stair hallway.
No, you have just shut the door. Instead of narrating the whole stair, like traveling down the stairs and everything, you had already made it to that doorway.
Okay.
By the time these infected had all come down and were like, tumbling over each other and everything. Yeah, my apologies. It was happening in my head.
Zombies. Sorry, and that means now there are zombies in the stairwell.
Correct.
Oh, it's okay. We have the elevator, right?
You do. Currently
now.
you do currently have access to the elevator. Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what to do. I don't want to engage with this thing.
You do also, just for your knowledge, like you hear chaos happening downstairs as well.
Where is the elevator in accordance to us then? Because I think I'm just gonna call the elevator to get us all out of here.
Well, so you have the one main stairway that'll lead down to the lobby.
But it's full of zombies.
No.
Well, undead.
That one is not. That one is open.
One's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Great.
one is visible, to everyone in the balcony. You're able to look down and see the chaos happening below you.
Cool.
Which is all I mean by chaos is the frenzied are slamming into the outside of the building, and Derek and Darren are attempting to board up the windows.
And Steve, you have the weapons bag on you at the moment, yes?
I would say you were probably carrying the weapons bag because it is much heavier than the medical equipment.
Great, thank you, Carrie.
Wait, and you just left that in the hallway?
Now the zombies have guns. We need
listen,
another
I had
problem.
to save my own life. Okay.
Yeah,
now they
I'm
have
not
guns, now
blaming.
they can-
I'm not blaming.
Zombie
I just
snipers.
wanted to make sure and clarify.
Yes.
Outbreak
Understanding the
Undead,
facts
where we
of our
all lose each
situation.
other as friends.
Mm-hmm. We all become the enemy.
Just remember whose fault it truly is. Harry's fault.
I would say at that point you're probably reaching for the weapons bag and you're like, oh fuck. There's this moment of dread that you realize where that weapons bag is.
God, fuck it. I am going to take the pistol, I guess, and shoot at this creature then, because I don't want to leave everybody, because I'd feel like such an asshole. So
Okay,
I'm going to shoot at it.
Make that firearm roll.
It's a 92. That's 4 degrees of failure.
This is not how I expected to die today, but
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No one's dying. We're getting through this.
I'm gonna say I feel like I just I'm still on the floor, so I go to reach for the weapon bag, realize that it's not there. I'm like, fuck, and I try, and as I get out, I'm just gonna try and shoot at it. But I feel like I just can't. My aim is so bad because I'm just kind of panicking right now.
Yeah, as you're standing up, the gun, you're fumbling with it for a moment. The gun falls out of your hand, falls down, slams onto the floor, and fires into like the wall. So there's this moment where everybody like jumps as the gun hits the floor. And that is that. We are up to Lou and Alec. What would you like to do?
Just gonna go to the ruckus, because I mean the ruckus is there's clearly stuff going on like every floor, it seems.
Yep.
I'm just gonna hope that Darren and Derek D&D can hang out downstairs and fix everything up. So I'm gonna go upstairs to try to do what I can.
Okay. Are you gonna try to swing at this thing?
Yes.
Awesome. Make a melee bludgeoning.
Okay. Do you want me to roll a damage die first?
I will have you roll 1 damage die, yeah.
Okay. That is 2.
Okay, you're fine.
Come on, this is the one skill you could do, Alec. That is a... Double check my score real quick. I need to know how many failures it is.
No.
Yeah, that is 3 failures. 79 over 43.
Oh my lord.
All right, so you rush up, bring this hockey stick around, and slam the hockey stick down onto this figure. The stick snaps in half, and the other half of it just kind of like bounces away. This cheap ass hockey stick. You did absolutely nothing to this thing, and now you're standing.
Would you say that my score is doubled though because I'm Minnesotan? I'm using a hockey stick.
I don't think so.
So okay.
Good try. Ooh.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. No problem. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I would have seen him like rushing it then. I don't. Nice. I don't remember if I had anything. I was helping unload stuff in the basement, so I don't know if I brought anything with me or if I'm carrying anything to bash this thing with. So, is there anything on the floor nearby that I could pick up and take a swing at it?
I would say yes. There would probably be like a few of those tools that were collected. You could easily probably grab onto some sort of like hammer or wrench or something to try and swing at this thing.
Totally picking up a hammer and taking a swing. I am not built for this, but I will try.
Give it a shot.
What do I roll for that?
Melee bludgeoning.
Seems like none of us are built for this at all. I mean,
Almost as if we didn't know the zombie apocalypse was going to happen.
That's crazy.
Would you like to talk about the fact that I literally rolled 100 right now?
You serious?
Oh
Again?
God.
Third one.
You rolled 2 last session.
Yeah.
Kaz is gone. You made Kaz leave.
I made Kaz leave. Please don't leave, Kaz.
You got another phone call to make.
I
Guys,
literally actually rolled 100 right now.
I cannot stress enough how Darren cannot be the only character left alive. Like, it's very important that
A manager needs to manage.
that the
who dis?
there's like he thrives best in a team environment. This
That's
cannot.
okay. Someone will come back as Mason. We'll try again.
You've got a team though. It's you and Derek. That's a team.
the D&D
Yes.
Express right
Yowza.
there.
Double D's right there.
Go ahead and Lou, make a composure roll for me.
I wish that was the other roll. That was a 2.
Okay,
my composure
so-
is 32.
Wonderful. So you're not going to lose any morale for this, but because of that 100% there, you freeze. You grab onto this tool and you're just looking at this creature that shouldn't exist, and you're just frozen. You cannot move.
Yeah, I'm having I never expected to step into the video game moment.
Right. I believe we are up to Darren. What is Darren doing?
Panicking. Darren is, and I don't know how much time has passed kind of in the fiction, but like it takes Darren a bit to, well, like he pauses longer than he should, like an uncomfortable amount of time. Again, this is milliseconds we're talking about, but in the slow motion cinematic version of this, he sees Alec run up the stairs with a hockey stick and, kind of pans over and looks at Derek trying to board up the windows with arms coming through. Just like last session. Just like 2 hours ago. It's happening again right now. And Darren tries to grab some boards and just with no strength of will or even like not as much panic as you would think, just like almost freezes up, but is like trying to slowly push boards into place and trying to not fight, not do anything, but is just focusing on getting a board onto a wall. And that is all Darren is capable of doing right now after the day that he has had, but is just trying to not even coolly, but absently almost.
Yeah, I think
shove boards on.
Cinematically, it's one of those moments where you're watching Alec run up, and like Derek's voice is just super distant and muffled, like, Darren, I need you here. I need you right. I need your help, Darren. Like trying to get your attention, and then you like snap and go over and numbly grab the board. Perfect. Okay. So this creature is facing Yasmin currently. Has been attempted to be grabbed by Steve. And was hit with a hockey stick by Alec. So I'm going to roll to see which of the three of you this creature will target. A 1 is Steve, a 2 is Alec, and a 3 is Yasmin. That is a 1. The fresh blood dripping from Steve's body as he slams back up against this wall. You kind of see this creature's like nostrils flare for a moment. You see the pupils do something funny. And then it just turns its head around and just looks directly at Steve before turning like its whole body around and facing you. And you hear like the slightest little shriek. It's not really a shriek, more of like a kind of scream in the back of its throat sort of thing. And this creature is going to raise up its arm and try and slash at the wound already bleeding in your abdomen. I rolled a 1%. What is your damage threshold, Steve?
6.
This creature turns towards Steve, towards this just pool of blood forming around him. Raises up the arm and just slashes. And you can hear like this just gurgle from Steve as this slash just rips into this wound. You hear the spattering of Steve's blood down onto this carpet, and you hear the crumbling as Steve drops to his knees and falls down into this hallway. This creature is like hunched over him at this point. Everyone roll another speed die.
So I just saw Steve hit the ground.
You did, yes.
I have nothing I can do for him. I, at this point, don't see Yasmin, right? Like, I don't know where she is, or is she in the same hallway?
She is in this hallway, yeah. She was just pinned up against the wall by one of these, by this creature. So now is currently let go and is basically standing right behind this figure.
I'm just going to look at Yasmin. Yasmin, help! Please! And I'm going to try to just grab this thing and run into a room with him.
Okay. Make a grapple check.
That is 3 degrees of success with a 12 from my 43.
All right, so Alec, I'm going to give you a choice here. With those 3 degrees of success, you can run into this room and shut the door. You can run into this room and out the window. That would require an attempt to not go out the window as well, but it could shove this thing out the window.
What kind of skill would that be based on?
I would have to make that like a probably either strength or endurance roll to, because you're at that momentum pushing that out the window and trying to stay where you are.
You know what? I'm okay with that endurance check.
Yeah? So you are grabbing this creature and basically like just shoving as hard as you can into this apartment, past it, into the window that has already been shattered where this thing came in through. So you slam it up against the window and you're attempting to just push it through.
You know what? This thing obviously came through the window anyways. I'm not gonna try to push it up because it's just gonna climb back up anyways. If I close the door, am I on the opposite end of it, or would I be locked in the room?
You would
with
be
this
inside
thing?
the room with it. So like, if you succeed this endurance roll and shove it out, your next speed die could be getting and closing the door before it climbs back in.
All right, I think I have to do that because I don't want to be locked in this room with this thing. Okay.
So, first of all, roll what 1 damage die.
That is a 5.
And your damage threshold is
7.
Great. So you'll be able to make this endurance roll with no penalties.
So that is a 6.
I wasn't sure what that face was, and I got really nervous.
I really didn't know either because I was like, I saw the 00, and I'm like, oh god.
Processing.
And then I noticed the other one wasn't a 0. So then anything is better than that. So that is 3 degrees of success as well, 6 to my 43.
Fantastic. So you just rush over, slam this thing into the window, and you watch as it just like flips out, like torso, and then the feet fly up, and you hear it shrieking all the way down. You hear a ping as it slams into like probably a light pole or something from the momentum.
With one of those degrees of success, can I add a speed die to him? Or
absolutely, you can.
Yeah, I want to make sure that he's gonna have to take a long time to get back up here.
Yasmin, what would you like to do?
I'm right on Steve. I'm gonna fix him. That's what I do. They've got that well in hand. I can't do shit. I am focusing on Steve to try to save his life.
Okay, I'm going to have you make an advanced medicine roll for me.
All right, guys.
Is there any way, since I'm standing right there and I just helped her with this other thing, is there any way I can like jump in and try to assist?
I also was going to say, Steve has the medical supplies on him.
Okay.
He has medical supplies on him in the duffel bag.
So
but you guys don't know that. Never mind.
I will say, well, you would though. I would say that we would be able to basically like accidentally swarm Steve in a sense, where Lou is trying to help, but mostly just anything Yasmin says, you will do. Like you're just like, how can I help? And Rory slams down on their knees, grabs the duffel bag, and just unzips it, opens it up, and starts spilling out medical supplies. I
figure I just did this with you, so I'm just ready to listen.
Yeah. I will say also before we make this advanced medicine roll, Darren and Derek, you have gotten the majority of this like front side boarded up. And you hear basically like a shuffle behind you. And both of you turn around and you see about 3 of these frenzied have come in from one of the other windows down here. And Derek immediately turns towards them. Go ahead and just roll a speed die for me, Darren.
1.
That's great. What would you like to do?
Cry.
Great.
Do I have to roll for that, or is that like
roll composure? No.
It feels
No.
like Darren maybe just gets that for free.
Very proficient in crying.
So Darren is feeling terrible still, just about everything, as is to be expected in the zombie apocalypse. But I think Darren is so afraid and sad and just emotionally short-circuited right now that Darren's gonna do a dumb thing that is not super Darren-y. He's gonna take one of the pieces of wood that he's holding and is just going to like hold it horizontally and just run at the zombies and just like try to push them or knock them off balance. Like he just like snaps, and you just like, and Darren, none of the other player characters I'm sure can hear this, because they're all dealing with their own screaming and whatnot. But Darren is just so messed up that's what he does.
Okay, so you do so. You probably let out some little yell as you're doing
100%.
it as well. Yeah. You actually managed to slam into 2 of them. You slam into them and basically like clothesline them down. They fall down onto the ground. One of them though just manages to get around it. You don't quite hit that one. And it is just kind of like reaching out for Derek, and you see Derek like go to put up the nail gun, and like basically this frenzied is coming in for mechanically like some sort of grapple, and Derek is like unable to get this nail gun up to anywhere that would matter. You hear it fire a couple times like into the torso, and it's just not doing anything. Then is able to basically like turn around, shove this thing up against the door here, put the nail gun up to its head and fire, and you now have a frenzied nail gunned to the front door. And then he turns around and is immediately like looking down at the 2, and then both of you kind of like make eye contact for a moment and look over towards the problem area, which is basically just like one big window on the other side of this lobby. And he just immediately moves over to start grabbing some boards. Like he's not even super concerned about the 2 knocked down right now. They're like slowly moving around to attempt to get up, but 2 is better than however many are on the street. So he is sprinting for more chunks of wood.
Darren snaps back into, oh my god, this is horrible. I should not be here. This is bad. This is very bad. This is very, 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 very bad. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I think this is the point where Darren starts screaming, like, for help. Like, very and just trying to get anyone who's here, anyone who is in their apartment still, whatever, is just pleading for someone to come and help.
For help. Alec, you haul ass back to the door, sprint through it, grab onto it, slam it shut. You're breathing heavily, the adrenaline is just pumping. Then you look over, you see, Steve just opened up on the floor right now. You see Rory, Lou, and Yasmin like knelt down by him, and then you hear something happening downstairs, and you hear Darren shouting for help. What is your move?
I thought, did somebody have a bat?
I would have
did.
worked my tire iron. It would be right there beside me.
I did have a bat, but it is currently up in the stairwell, like keeping the door shut from more coming through that.
If Yasmin's tire iron's on the ground or nearby, I'm definitely gonna grab that.
Sure.
And I'm gonna run downstairs to help Darren.
Great. Yeah, you do so. You sprint downstairs.
God, I wish I did better at track.
I will. Is Mason still up with us too?
Mason is, yes.
Okay.
But he's just looking around like.
Close all the doors on this floor, get downstairs. And then I point at Rory and at Lou, and I start whatever, like hot water, gauze, sutures, whatever I think as I'm looking at Steve to be like, what do I do with this person in front of me? And I lay him down. And,
yeah. Basically, like, the shirt is already ripped to shreds, but you basically just rip that off the rest of the way, honestly, at this point, to get a better look at what is happening to Steve's abdomen. Mason kind of hops over this scene in the hallway here to rush over and start slamming some of these doors shut. So behind the sound of these closing doors and of Mason running, go ahead and make that advanced medicine roll.
with all the help, do I get any kind of additional excellence? Or is it just straight?
I think it's just straight.
Okay. That is 21 under 80.
Okay, so you are looking at two different wounds here.
Cool.
One wound you and I have already talked about.
Yeah.
The other wound, this is the fresh one, and it is basically like if the scratch mark from the first wound was like this, the other one almost seems to be almost parallel to it, but just enough to where it just kind of ripped it open even more. All of these, every single one of these like makeshift stitches are ripped. The wound is entirely opened up, and you are able to see basically how deep some of the stitches were as well. And it is just all opened back up. How would you like to handle that?
I will basically, assuming Lou has brought me some stuff, I will basically dump some vodka on my hands and on the site, or if we have alcohol or whatever, and just I'll take out any like debris, any whatever. I'll try to disinfect as much as I can, and then start closing him up and making sure there's no like actual organ damage, internal bleeding, clipping, whatever. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, I want to fix it. Obviously.
Okay. Go ahead and make a spotless roll.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see. What is that? Oh, it's not awful. 23 under 34.
Okay. I'm gonna message you.
The longer you type, the more nervous I get.
Yeah, this is really bad. I was really hoping you'd already gotten the message and we're joking around after having received it.
Nope.
Good. Great. Cool.
Literally breathing heavy as if I'm the one running right now.
I know.
I know I was earlier too.
This is
I can like
the
hear
doctor,
my
this
blood
is
in
the
my
good news,
ears.
this is the bad news type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just scrolling through my sheet as if I have other things I could do, but all I'm looking at is numbers. Nothing can be done about what's happening.
That's the nice part about Darren is that he has a very specific set of skills and not in a Liam Neeson Taken kind of way. And so I just know, like, you don't want Darren doing.
You don't want Darren.
Other than like 4 things. You don't want him doing anything.
Meanwhile, though, Alec, you do make it down the stairs, turn, and you see these 2 frenzied beginning to stand up, and they're near Darren as Darren is shouting for help.
And it is an ugly shout, by the way. Like it is like feral, like lizard brain, like he went from just like mindless, I'm taking action, to like you can hear the emotion in his voice as he's again like pleading is the only word for the sounds that he's making. It's like, please God, someone help.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing at one of them then. If I'm able to, I'm gonna swing at the one that's, if anything, is still trying to get up, or if both of them are fully up, then I'm swinging at one of them.
Don't tell me.
Maybe 4.
Don't tell me it's 100.
That's fine.
It's 100.
What the
Stop
fuck, you guys?
it!
What the
Guys.
fuck, you guys?
It's been rough.
It's been rough in
Curse
this
me like
apartment
that.
complex.
Don't say that in
the
front of my
apartment
dice.
complex.
Maybe the
has
apartment
been
complex is
fucking
cursed. We should probably
shitty.
just leave.
It's been not fun and very bad, actually.
We should clearly give up
Carrie,
and like
give us
go
the
next
bad
door or
news.
something.
Just so you
That's the
know,
bad-
on our field trip, it wasn't any easier.
No, but like at least we were inside, you know, and we're like, yes, we're boarding up the windows. Like we just gotta hunker down and hold down the fort but you know, until the people who are going out and like doing the brave thing come back, and we'll make sure that it's like safe and good for them to come back to. And nope.
It's not. In case
If
you
it's a
didn't notice,
pure
it's
math
not safe
thing,
and good.
It's
If it's a
actually
pure
worse.
math thing, we noticed that there's 2 less of you when you went out. We noticed that.
Alec,
Yes,
make a dodge roll for me.
I can attempt that. Am I good at those? No. But I can attempt. I got a 29 under my 30.
Great. Now make one more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 55 over my 30. Oh, did you also want me to roll a damage die for when I tried to roll to attack? Or
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. I mean, the odds are that I won't get hurt from it. Yeah, 3. Because I would
Okay.
have to explode the dice in order to
Right,
get
right,
injured again. But
So you,
with the luck we've had,
Alec,
wouldn't be surprised.
you rush over to attempt to swing at one of these things. It's kind of like lashing out to try to grab onto you. The tire iron slams into the floor. You feel it kind of vibrating up your forearm for a moment. And then the other one lunges over with an impossible speed. Lunges, grabs onto your leg, and bites down into your thigh. You are going to take 1 wound from this attack. Darren, you can hear the sound of something like toppling over, and you look up and you can see that instead of bothering to physically board up the majority of this window, you see that Derek is somehow like dragging one of these like big filing cabinets over, and it just kind of tipped and landed crooked across this big window here, and he's just kind of like slammed it down. He's breathing heavily. You can see arms like trying to come in from the top and from the bottom, but it seems to be doing the trick currently. And then he turns back around and with a 1%, he turns around and he sprints back over, and you know, fuck it. With a 1%, you guys need some luck. He is going
Holy
to
shit, you've been
fire-
rolling bonkers.
I have
For all
been.
these NPCs especially.
Yeah.
And we have not.
He's gonna go ahead and fire 1 nail into both of these frenzied's heads. And for the first time in a while, the apartment complex, well, I should say, the 2 floors that you are accessing in this complex is frenzied free. Cool.
Except for
What?
all the ones who are trying to reach through the window
Yes, you can
and
still hear
knocking
the
on walls and
yeah, you still hear the gurgling and groaning and snarling and then the pounding of their fists. You can hear the pounding of the fists on the door to the stairway.
Darren looks at Derek and then over at Alec, who is clearly injured, and just in a very shaky, panicked voice says, go get him to the doctor. I'll make sure that this is safe. And Darren will like run over to the cabinet,
Okay.
like the filing cabinet that's tipped over, and will just sit in front of it and be like holding it to make sure that nothing gets in. All the while, like these horrible noises of clawing and scraping and moaning and screaming are happening behind him. And he is just like panic holding the filing cabinet and is just existing, basically.
Okay.
But tells Derek to go, manages up Derek to go get Alec to the doctor, who he knows, he I think would know what is upstairs.
Yeah. Derek wastes no time and literally leans down, scoops Alec up in a fireman carrying Alec quickly around to the stairs and up, while you still have, control of your faculties and stuff. He doesn't want to waste time with the limp or however your walking situation might be, so he's just scooping you up and hauling you up these stairs at this point. Yasmin.
So at this point, Steve is what we talked about, yes?
Correct. Yeah.
Great. I'm going to, realizing Mason's still running around closing doors, or he's done?
He has finished closing the doors and he is now just standing a solid probably like 5 or 6 feet away, just looking down at the situation right now.
Right. I point at him and say with just a little panic, get Alexander and Elizabeth out of that room and bring them out. Shut the door. And then to everyone else, we need to elevate his legs, get him somewhere on the table, or somewhere not here, so that he can. I'll point at Lou. We need water, towels, keeping the bleeding under control. He's stable for now. We will deal with this in a moment. And I'll look around. How does everybody else look?
As you're looking around, Derek comes up the stairs and basically plops Alec to his feet.
I just looking pale straight at everyone that's there, looking at Steve, not sure if I've been bit.
All right, I'll go over and safety scissors cut the pant leg off. Does it look anything like Elizabeth?
Elizabeth's was definitely had longer to affect. But you do see the skin around is definitely red and already feels a little hotter than it should.
Okay. Just gonna look at Alec and say, okay, I'm going to give you a choice.
Do it.
I can try to cut the flesh away where the bite is, or I can remove the leg below I presume the bite is below the knee or above, like thigh or calf.
Thigh.
Great. I will tell you this honestly. Elizabeth's bite got quite infected. I do not know how quickly it will spread. We can either remove it, the chunk of flesh, to try and, if we're lucky, stop it, but you will retain the limb, or we can remove at the hip and we will perhaps have a better chance. But it is your body, and I will give you the choice.
Oh, God. Both me and Alec are screaming this.
While Alec is thinking, you hear just a slight little cough and gurgle from Steve as he begins convulsing.
I'm back. Bring me a pen, a tube, something.
What's happening to Steve? Why is he doing this?
I pull out all kinds of pens, and I have like Sharpies and ballpoints, and I have like 1,000,000 pens in my pocket.
And snacks. Don't forget all the snacks that you
So many
grabbed.
snacks, Pop-Tarts go everywhere.
Too.
Oh my God.
I'm sure we've all seen it in movies where they cut a little slit and stab it into the lung, and that's what I'm gonna try.
What are you? What are we doing? Why?
Make
Roll
an
that,
advanced medicine roll.
Yep. Mm-hmm. 18.
Okay. I'm so scared when you guys make those
That was a
faces.
fucking misleading look. Holy shit, I was ready for that 100 to drop. 100%.
This whole
That was
time,
going to be 100. Absolutely, that was going to be 100%.
this
I
whole
was
time,
sure of it.
my pointer is hovering on the leave button, guys.
I know. I was just thinking, like, holy shit, you've just been sitting there the whole time.
My palms are sweaty. I'm pretty sure when I click it, it's not
Knees
even
weak.
gonna. It's not
Palms
even gonna.
It's an 18 under 80.
You
So-
don't even think about it. And the rest of you basically watch as she just stabs Steve. And there's this moment of like, whoa, what is happening here? But then you see like
Oh
just a
God.
little basically like squirt of blood from this wound. And then the convulsions kind of like slow and stop for a moment as Steve is able to intake air from this hollowed out pen that is now shoved into his lung.
Yasmin is actually the only good character. The only actual badass in the
I'm
whole
good at one thing.
in the whole
That's it.
whole group. The only one who's actually good at doing things.
More than
The only
80%.
huge
Very,
badass.
very good. Very good.
So
All right.
at this point, the Mason is heading into that other room to follow through with the instructions given. Heads into that room. What is everyone else doing currently at this moment in time?
I'm breathing through a pen.
Right.
I'm sitting with Steve. I probably
also-
just had a moment of like, are you kidding me with today? And I'm just sitting with him and staring at the pen.
Yeah, I'm just sitting by Steve as well, just like kind of in just like shock.
I'm going to look at Yasmin. I think we need to try to remove the flesh on my leg.
Okay.
If anything, I could already be progressing, and taking off the leg won't do anything. We don't know what happened with Elizabeth yet, so I think this is the best course that I think I can take.
And that is what we will do.
I see a pen on the ground that Lou's been throwing all over the place. I'm just gonna hold that in my hand and just like as like a stress ball sort of deal, just squeezing it.
There are hella pens on the ground. I have an
Yeah,
irrational amount of like pens and Sharpies and highlighters and paint pens.
Okay.
I'm also imagining that like while this is happening, like while they're moving to make things happen, so to speak, medically speaking, then it's like the camera cuts over to Darren, who is holding this, this thing. And again, it sounded like it was pretty solid, but Darren is making sure, and is just like silent, just like face full of tears.
How does Elizabeth look? I'm gonna check on Elizabeth as Mason brings her in.
You saw Mason go into the room. You have not seen anyone come out.
Great. I'm gonna very gently tap, tap, tap. Are we all right in there? I'm gonna listen first.
Yeah, you listen, and then you kind of jump back, startled, as a fist pounds into the door, and you hear snarling from inside.
Cool.
Neat. Good.
Yeah.
I like what's happening.
I'll look at Rory. Did you have a gun?
I kind of point on the floor to where I had left it after it slipped out of my hand.
Oh, great.
Can we just get out of here? Like, maybe we should just leave the apartment complex. I don't know, find a van, all pile in, leave. Can we get out of here? At all?
So Yasmin, until this moment, has been very, like, decisive, very much like, do the thing. She's in a momentary loss for what next. How does the door seem to be holding up?
It's holding. You only hear, the best that you can tell, two figures kind of beating up against this door.
Rick.
Is there a peephole?
No.
Does it sound like snarling zombie beating, or like two people being like, let us out?
It sounds like
Definitely
snarling.
zombie.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Okay. There's two in there. Pretty sure. I'm gonna look at Alec and go over and check his leg. Is it a relative, like, how deep is the bite? I guess is the question.
The bite doesn't seem terribly deep. Like, it's not like he's gonna bleed out or anything.
Sure.
But you do see that the redness of the skin has already kind of expanded out a little bit.
Okay. To Rory and the other NPC, what's his name? Derek. Watch the door. Make sure they do not come through. And to Lou, one more time. Hopefully this one is less awful. Unless you want to do the guarding and Rory can do the medicine with me.
I'm
Wait,
going to do the
so-
guarding. Don't even try to get me into that. No, thank you.
Right.
Wait, so that one didn't work.
Well, we don't know. There's a window in that room.
Okay. You're right. There's a window. You're right. All right, let's do it.
Where's the other one? There's one more person here. We need more bodies. Where did he go? I'll look at everybody.
Yeah,
At
Derek will probably say he's downstairs. I think he's as fine as he can be.
Right. Okay. I will set out all of the supplies I will need. You have a pen ready to bite down, and I will do the thing. I will start as few layers of skin as possible, like removing a birth spot sort of layer, and then deeper if I need to, but I'm going to try to minimize as much as I can the amount of, like, layers.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you make an advanced medicine roll for me. Alec, I'm gonna have you make a resist pain roll.
Okay.
As this is happening, Rory's gonna kind of like crawl back over to where the gun is, grab the gun, go back over to Steve, and like kind of tap at his face. And Steve, are you with us? Can you sit up?
No sitting up. I call from the.
Can you at least hear me, Steve?
Steve cannot hear you. Steve is sort of unconscious at this point.
Great. Okay. Good. Okay.
I got 1 degree of success with an 18 under my 32.
Okay. Yeah, Rory, you just hear like just a little like almost groan
30.
come from Steve, but that's all.
Okay.
And Alec, you are able to not scream at the top of your lungs. There are still plenty of noises that are coming out of you right now as you're biting down into this pin.
I imagine it's like almost like a mechanical pencil. I'm just bending the entire pencil or pen in like half, just pushing up against it. And then once I'm done with that, I'll just start spinning the ring on my hand, my left hand, just because I gotta have something here. I'm having a bad time. It's been a bad 12 hours.
I'm not going to narrate filleting
surgery.
Alec's leg.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea. Just
Appreciate
a
it.
thought.
Yeah.
I am greatly appreciative of you, Carrie.
It was a 24 under 80.
Okay. The leg is patched up, and the only person that probably realizes Steve's condition is Yasmin. As you kind of turn back to look, you can just tell. Without even checking the vitals at this point, you look over and Rory is still kind of guarding that door with Derek. Darren is still downstairs at this point, I think.
Did you say Derek or Darren?
Darren.
Yes, I'm still downstairs. I like, if this is all still happening relatively one after the other, I don't know if Darren would leave, would move until someone, either a player or NPC or whatever, got him. Because I assume the frenzied are not just there's only so much that they'll just get bored and leave, but he's not going to move for as long as any scratching or screaming or anything, and he just is sitting there just experiencing it.
I would say it takes about 30 or so minutes for the streets to fall quiet again, but you can still hear the pain sounds upstairs of whatever surgery is happening, so you still just kind of sit and wait for that to be over. And once that's over, the apartment complex does in fact fall quiet.
So we know what Derek and Mason obviously are kicking around, and we lost several other people in the last session, not even right now, when suddenly, oh god, there's another 8 zombies kicking around. Over the course of the next 30 or however many minutes, do any other people just mill around or anything like that? Does Darren get a sense? And obviously Darren's a little bit distracted, but does Darren get a sense of who else is here still?
After the events of the last couple sessions, the only NPC that you can confirm is alive right now is Derek.
Do I feel any different? Other than a little bit lighter?
Not currently, probably. You're probably your body has gone through too much at this point. You are kind of still coming down from the events and the trauma to your leg.
Yeah, oh, and I hit hard.
In the medicine bag that Rory and Steve brought, is there antibiotics or is it just like gauze and stuff?
I think it was all just gauze.
Yeah, gauze, surgical equipment.
Surgical, yeah. There were no antibiotics, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
There's none
they're
of that.
like sterilizing, like alcohol swabs and like little bottles, but no
Basic
actual
stuff.
antibiotics or anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of apartment complex. Some people's got to have like some Tylenol, right?
Somebody's
That's
got
not what I'm worried
Neosporin in there.
Neosporin? Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah, you're gonna patch that up with some Neosporin spray.
Some Windex.
Oh, you're fancy. I wasn't even thinking the spray. I was
God.
thinking the old school cream, the little tiny tube with the gel in it. It's like, just dab that on.
Okay.
All patched up.
Okay. I'm gonna get Alec as comfortable as I can, like on the floor, whatever. And then I presume Rory is still sitting next to Steve with like a hand on him or something.
I think Rory was keeping an eye on that door, unless we moved back over to Steve after like it started to calm down a little.
I think after it started to calm down, I think I sort of like walked very slowly, my back to Steve, and then kind of like sat, like crouched, and like kept the gun leveled at the door, but like near Steve, you know?
Right.
I'm gonna go over to Rory. I assume the noise of the door has also stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. I will very gently lower the gun and put a hand on your shoulder and say, I'm sorry. We will have to move him. It is not safe for him to be here for us. But you should say goodbye.
No, he's fine. He's gonna be just fine. He'll be just fine.
I wish I could have done more.
We can't do anything else. He's just gone.
I'm sorry.
Okay. What do you mean? He's fine. He can just stay here. He's fine.
We should move him into an apartment, just in case. We do not know how these creatures come alive.
Okay. Okay. Just tell me which one to move him into, I guess.
Is there one that we haven't heard noise? I mean, I assume there's got to be one that we haven't heard noises from.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one that doesn't have a window?
Yeah, no. Window's fine, because then they can leave, but
Or just chuck him out.
that too. I just wanted to
No, we put him in an apartment.
Yeah. I get another person or people to help us carry Steve out, and lay him out. After Rory leaves, though, do you leave his side? Like, are you gonna sit with him for a minute?
I think Rory's gonna help put him in there and then stand there for a second and then immediately just storm out.
Okay. Does Derek still have his nail gun?
He does.
I am going to put a hand on his shoulder and say, you've killed a number of them. Does a shot through the head guarantee they die?
From what I've seen,
I can do it if you do not wish to. But I think we have to make sure he does not come back.
we don't know, though. We don't know.
You're right. We don't. And that's the problem. I will go and stand by the door and say, you can do it, or you can leave it with me, and I will do it.
Derek walks up to you, hands you the nail gun, and walks out of the room.
I close the door, and I do what I think needs to be done to make sure he does not come back. And then I cover him with a sheet. I leave, shut the door.
Derek walks out, heads down the stairs, and looks over and sees Darren still sitting in the same spot. And he just kind of slowly walks over. You hear the only real sound of his walking are like the tennis shoes kind of like squeaking on some of the blood spots of the floor. And he just walks over and kind of sits down on the floor, like diagonal from you, basically. He just sits with you.
Yeah, Darren stays quiet. Unlike the last time where he was making conversation and that was how he was working through stuff, he is just vacant.
He is looking at you now. Now that things are calm, you see him looking at your eye. The eye that was injured previously, and you can tell like there's this little look of concern, but he's reading the room. And
yeah, and there would still be blood coming from it. Or like dried blood on his face.
Kind of scabbed up. The fortifications are finished. The ground level windows are boarded up, and throughout the night, Derek probably grabbed some of these boards for the second floor just to probably board up that door that you had heard the banging behind. Maybe save a few boards for any of the extra doors or windows inside of certain complexes. You have a very decent supply of food. You have a pretty decent supply of medical supplies. And you lost a lot of people today. You watched a lot of loss. You heard a lot of pain. And for a moment, your mind wanders to how blissfully unaware you were this morning just this morning. Blissfully unaware of the horrors that you'd see, the things you would do. Everybody make a composure roll for me.
3 levels of failure.
3 levels of failure for me.
That is 100.
It happened.
Finally, it happened.
Also 3 levels of failure.
Oh my god, y'all.
I'm gonna pick up one of my pens and start just drawing on any hard surface near me.
Those of you that failed, you're going to lose 1 morale.
I want to look at Yasmin. As everyone's sort of recoiling.
I imagine she walked out of the room, closed the door, set the nail gun down, and stepped kind of out of the way. And she started to get into the movement of prayer, but as she got to her knees, she just crying, just hysterically crying.
Yasmin, everyone that was here is very grateful for you to being here. And know that whatever happened before the day's events, everything is situational. You have to go by moment to moment to moment, and you did everything you could. Steve did everything he could. Rory did everything they could, and everyone fought hard. You're here because everyone, including yourself, is strong-willed to keep fighting on. Thank you for everything that you've done for me with my shoulder, my nose, and now my thigh. I honestly think that none of us would, at least myself, would not be here without your help. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And we will get through this. All of us will.
Never gets easier. This is not the first time. There have been very, very few. I am very good at what I do. The day it gets easier is the day that it is a problem. And she just cries it out.
Exhausted and beaten and bloody and bruised. The adrenaline of the day is starting to wear off, and your bodies need rest. As the adrenaline is no longer surging, you feel this exhaustion just take over you. And you all begin to find places to rest, to sleep. As day 1 comes to a close.